Guess what? New battery for the drone. And possibly just in time, because today I think we're mowing it in the farm. Big mower. Right, that can go on top up before we go over there. In the meantime, I'm going to let my birds out. Right, had a bit of unwelcome news yesterday. About 3-4 months ago, we bought a pedigree Dexter heifer off of a neighbour. They had her. They'd missed out on AI because they couldn't find any semen for her. Didn't want to get a bull in for a single animal, and basically rang me up and said, would I take her on? And I said, yeah, okay. So I bought her off them. Only came from next door, so no real issues until they went down with TB a couple of weeks ago. And we've had a notification letter come from the ministry yesterday to tell us that we have got to get that animal in, and she's got to have a check test, which of course is going to be a ball ache, because it means I've got to get them all out of the golf course. They've got to come through the avenue, which I was kind of open to leave for the sheep a bit longer, and into the barn. Well, I want them at the barn out, so it's kind of put us in a little bit of a spot. Not only that, is we're doing TB test, pre-movement test on those 10 young animals from our friend, and they're supposed to be moving here next week. Well, the thing is, I don't want to bring them on the farm if there's a risk of this animal going down with TB, because then, well, those of you who keep out livestock will understand, if I move animals on and then have a TB test, basically they've become part of the herd. So I've had to ring up the current owner and say, can he hang on to them in his shed for another 2 weeks, which he really didn't want to do until we've had our check test done. It's just one of those things. We've also had a notification that it looks like we might be going on to twice yearly TB testing, because TB around here has been so bad. I think the ministry just said, right, well, we just got to get on top of this, and twice yearly. Well, the thing with that is a lot of my cattle spend the summer at the other farm, so have I got to bring them back, or can I do the test over there? Now I'm pretty sure we can probably do the test over there, but that's a pain for the vets, because it means they have to go to 2 different farms and 2 different counties, 10 miles apart. It just adds time to the job. But there you go. So, you know, it's never a dull moment, and keeping livestock can be a right royal headache. Well, I don't know. What else can I say? What else can I say? It's just one of those things. I'm coming. Right, I've just messaged the contractor who's doing our bales over in Tidrington, Mr. Hallett. I want to know what time they were going to start, because of course I want to go over with the drone now. I've got a new battery. They're starting mowing around about midday, which is fine for me. It means I've got a few little jobs I can do here. That sun is warm. That is warm. Where was I? Oh yeah, I've got a few little jobs I can do here. I want to go down around the sheep a minute, just make sure they're okay. We've got this load of mulch to go to the village over at Tidrington. So this is already loaded up, ready to go in anticipation that we were going to start today. So I could drop this off, nip over, open a couple of the gates, because I've asked him to do an extra piece for us as well, and maybe get the drone up and see big tractor cutting. I mean, my little red tractor is interesting to some people, but there are those who like the big ones, you know, with the mowers on the front and the back. You might struggle with that little paddock a bit. It's just about enough space for it to turn around in there. So other news is tomorrow we're going to bale pigeon meat. So I spoke to our local contractor, baler. and he's basically said, I'm going to come and do yours tomorrow, and that's all I'm doing tomorrow. So he's going to come down in the morning or mid-morning and row it up for me, and then possibly later in the afternoon or wherever it suits him, I suppose, he's going to come and put that in bales. We're going to leave that out in the field for a few days. Even if we get a bit of rain, doesn't matter once they're in rain bales, because they're basically a little thatched house. I'm going to drive a couple of our steel pins into them, and if the steel pins are still cool 48 hours later, I'll bring them in. And if they're warm, depends how warm. If they're a little bit warm, I'll still bring them in. But if the pins are very warm, they'll stay out in the field. They'll sweat out for a couple of days or weeks. So, right. So first job is we're going to shoot down the sheep, make sure they're okay. I haven't seen them yet this morning, and just check everything is still like that, and nothing is like that. Just in case. Those Herdwicks, they're escape artists. Still got some in there. No, I got nothing for you. Nope. No, nothing for you neither. Who's been lying in muck then? That was something I didn't want to find. He's dry, and there are no maggots on him. So, although I'm sure the maggots were the catalyst for his death, yeah, there are no maggots on him. That was from my freezer. Yeah, and the corvids have been at him already. Right, another 30 quid to the kennels. Not the nicest thing in the world to do, but you can't feel it. Well, I didn't go as planned, or as I thought was going to happen. So sometimes, even after your best efforts, they just decide they ain't good. Well, they just decide they're not going to survive. So this is the animal we treated for fly strike today. He does not have a maggot on him. There is no maggots on him at all, but he's decided to succumb anyway. So call to the kennels. Right, I've just popped in to see my dad on the way over to return his hat that he left in the nursing home when he went to see Mother on Wednesday. Apparently he spent the last 2 days looking for it, but I had it. So, right, he's got that back, so he's happy. We are now going to pop into the old showground and see if John has made a start on the mowing yet. Well, the gate to the showground is shut. So, where is he? Has he started yet? Maybe not yet. Maybe I'm a bit early. How about over here? go. Not yet. Right, I'll open the gates for him anyway. Right, well, the mower man's just rung me. He had to finish off a piece that he started last night. He needs to go back to the farm and get some fuel. He's going to be with me in about half an hour or so, so I might shoot home at my lunch because he knows where he's starting, and then come back over. I'll go and open the other gate first though. Is that a bit deep for you in there? Is it? Yeah, there's a lot of grass out here. Come on. Well, if I'm going back over after lunch, I might as well take a bail over for those 10 cattle, don't I? Hello, you lot. Hello. Are you still scatty? Very jumpy and frightened of their own shadows again still, but hopefully they'll improve. You might have to stay here an extra week. Is that right? Sorry about that. It's just one of those things. I bet you could tell a few stories. Second time lucky. Oh, I see some grass down. This one's done. That didn't take him long. Mind you, I've only got one mower, he's got 3. A lot more grass out here than I got at home. A lot more. Felt that hole. Right, I'll let him crack on. We'll put the drone up. Been a while since I've been able to use a drone because my old battery decided to swell up and do silly things. So fortunately I've got an extremely good wife who ordered one for me. Right.
I was always inclined to make history, but I never really had the time. Spent my life living dangerously, never worried how I'm getting by. I'm out here working, trying to do what I can. I'm out here sweating, dripping blood from my hands. Doing what I'm good at. Just doing what I'm made for. Just doing what I'm good at. Just doing what I'm made for. Mind on my money, money on my mind. Yeah, you bet I'm gonna have a good time. Mind on my money, money on my mind. Yeah, you bet I'm gonna have a good time. Well, I won't be trouble, trouble comes for me. It was always gonna find me out. I'm gonna keep on walking, taking what I need. Ain't nothing gonna touch me now. I'm out here working, trying to do what I can. I'm out here sweating, dripping blood from my hands. Oh, I'm doing what I'm good at. Just doing what I'm made for. Just doing what I'm good at. Just doing what I'm made for. Money, 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 money. Mind on my money, money on my mind. Yeah, you bet I'm gonna have a good time. Mind on my money, money on my mind. Yeah, you bet I'm gonna have a good time. Let me see you clap your hands. Now we're swaying to the beat. Let me see you clap your hands. Now we're swaying to the beat. Doing what I'm good at. Just doing what I'm made for. Just doing what I'm good at. Just doing what I'm made for. Money, 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 money.
Right. I did see John stop once, fairly abruptly. Now I don't know, I'm really hoping he didn't find a fawn in the grass, because I did see a rodo bounce out of this corner not long after he started. And I've had young deer, baby deer, go through the moor before, and I could promise you, even for the hardest of blokes, it's actually quite difficult, because modern machinery, little baby deer, they do not gel well together, and predominantly it's the little baby deer that comes off worse. Well, obviously I suppose really, but yeah, it can be a bit messy, and sometimes it's not instant, and that's even worse. So I don't know, I'm really hoping that wasn't why he came to an abrupt halt, because usually it's too late, especially when the grass is as long as it is. I mean, the grass out there, some of it is up bonnet of my Land Rover. If there's a little fawn out there, you're not going to see it until it's too late. So I've seen one or two farming Facebook posts with folks that have hit deer. I mean, yes, too many of them can be a bit of a nuisance, but he finished. That didn't take long, did it? But yeah, it's one of those things that you just have to be prepared for this time of year, that there might be unwanted casualties. Okay, there's a red kite. I haven't seen a red kite down here before. I doubt you can see him, but that's him there. We very rarely see a red kite up at home, but they're scavengers by nature, so he's obviously having a look over what's being cut in case there's any other casualties out here. So he's the fella that would be very pleased if we run over a baby deer. Okay, well, I've done everything I can here. It has been suggested that I come over myself and spin this. I don't really have the time, but if they can't, then I guess I must. So we'll see. see how time goes. There's no point spinning anything today because this needs a few hours in the sun to get it going. And we've still got to make up our mind if we're going to make it all into silage, some into hay. Wait, what are you rolling in? Whatever it is, you shouldn't be. Come on. Stinky. Right, okay, I'm going to let John go, and I think I might just shut the gate. Then we'll go home. Come on, in you come.